obstetrician gynecologist working in Sai Specialty Center, which is my clinic in Kasturi Nagar, and in Cloud9 Hospital, HRBR. I hope you watched my previous videos on fibroid uterus and PCOS, and you hope you liked it. If not, you go back and see it on Bits and Bytes on digital wellness. Today's topic on Bits and Bytes digital wellness is on endometriosis. This is one among the common conditions that women face, though they don't realize they are facing it unless they are aware of the fact that there is some condition like this. Now, what is this is a condition in which the inner lining of the uterus, um, instead of coming out during each period through the vagina, also spills backwards through the tube into the peritoneal cavity. Now, what is the peritoneal cavity? It's the area in which the uterus and ovaries and the other organs like intestine are contained in. So what happens is when the inner lining of the uterus goes and spills onto the ovary or on itself, when we call it endometriosis or adenomyosis respectively, it also spills into the peritoneal cavity. Now, this is a very vascular organ because the inner lining of the uterus, what we call the endometrium, is richly supplied by blood vessels, and it is, it is also grown through hormones. So what happens is when it goes and falls in those areas like the ovary or the peritoneal cavity or the uterus itself, since all these organs are also supplied well with blood vessels, these tend to grow there. Now, this is the commonest hypothesis which has been proposed for the cause of endometriosis. Now, when it grows there, during each cycle, when the inner lining of the uterus grows, these deposits also grow and they tend to bleed during each period. So, you can imagine what is happening inside the uterus. When the bleeding is happening, outside the uterus also bleeding is happening into the peritoneal cavity. So these women tend to have very severe pain during their periods. Now there is a difference between spasmodic dysmenorrhea, which is just pain initially during the menstrual cycle for a day or sometimes for a few hours initially, where the mouth of the uterus which is there tends to be tight, and once it opens up or a few ml of blood flows, it slowly relieves in spasm. Whereas in endometriosis, the pain continues for the second day, third day, fourth day, fifth day, and even in between the period, what we call an intermenstrual pain. So this is because these deposits tends to bleed and it tends to create a lot of scar around it. It tends to form cysts in the ovary called endometriotic cysts, or commonly called chocolate cysts, and this grows in size, and this creates a lot of internal adhesions, and it is a very it is an ongoing process of slow destruction inside. Now, it is a very enigmatic disease to diagnose, to predict when it would happen, for whom it would happen, or though it runs in families, you can be on the lookout for it in women or patients who have had endometriosis in the family. They say it is geographical in certain areas of India. They say it is more common in type A personalities, but generally what I've seen is it's a very enigmatic disease which is difficult to predict who would be a probable patient who would have endometriosis and how fast it would recur after treatment, how severe it would recur after treatment, how severe it is. Only when we evaluate and analyze, we get to know how severe it is. Sometimes it will just be only a painful period. Sometimes it can be associated with florid symptoms of bladder symptoms or bowel symptoms, with loose motions every period, with frequent micturition during every period, and these kind of patients really roll over the floor with pain because the peritoneal bleeds tend to cause something called peritonitis, and the peritoneum is such a sensitive organ. Anything that touches it or causes an inflammation to that causes severe pain. So endometriosis has its own implications on fertility because fertility is affected in 4 or 5 different ways in endometriosis, where the chocolate cysts which form or the endometriotic cyst that forms in the ovaries tend to cause a lot of scarring in the ovaries, so it decreases the ovulation potential. The egg that is released may not be picked up by the fimbrial end of the fallopian tube because of the either the macrophage system which takes over the egg, or the obstructive problems that happen because of adhesions and in endometriosis. And then the endometrial lining itself will have a lot of changes which will prevent improper implantation. So right from quality, quantity, and the transport system of the egg to the uterus, the implantation issues, and the reproductive, because of the ovarian function, the reserve coming down because of frequent scarring of the ovaries, these patients tend to go into more infertility than even patients with PCO. So to identify endometriosis is very important in a patient, and for that it is possible only if women or children come to us at the right time, and it has to be treated so that worsening of this disease doesn't happen. And treatment options are many, starting from in a younger age group, there are a lot of tablets which are progestrogens, which inhibit the growth of endometriosis, again, which is a estrogen dependent tumor. So starting from progestrogens to oral contraceptive pills to GnRH inhibition to local intrauterine devices which produces progesterones, to an early fertility counseling for the patient, to surgical methods of removing the endometriotic deposits, or cauterization of the endometrial deposits, or removal of the endometriotic cysts. And the same situation of endometriosis on its own self, like when the deposits fall on the uterus itself, we call it adenomyosis. So they are more or less the same thing, it's only that it's on itself. So the treatment options are many, but the only complete treatment option is the removal of the uterus and the ovaries, because the uterus is the source for endometrium, and ovaries tend to be the receivers of that endometrium. And unless we can't just remove the ovaries, because the endometrium will undergo degenerative changes without the ovaries. So very, very rarely, in very severe cases, that is the complete and the only treatment for endometriosis. So what happens is, because of recurrent scarring, sometimes they form frozen pelvis, where all the organs other than the uterus, the ovaries, the fallopian tubes, and even the bladder, the bowel, everything gets stuck together. So before it can be so severe, we should identify the disease, we should try to stall it. And I found these intrauterine devices which release progesterone very, very helpful in stalling these conditions, because you can again not give systemic treatment continuously, because it has its own effects. So endometriosis is one of the commonest, one among the common diseases that women face, and very, very rarely it can form cancer. I've seen one odd patient or two odd patients having this in the last 20 years of my career, but it needs to be addressed, because it causes a lot of pain for the woman, and it causes a lot of loss of self-esteem, because every period is painful. Every period gives them a feeling that it's such excruciating pain, so emotionally, psychologically, they will not be able to work for those couple of days that they bleed. And infertility is something which comes along with that, and again pulls them down morally and emotionally. So they require a lot of psychosocial support, they require a lot of family support, and they require a lot of support from their gynecologist to get this disease under their control. And unfortunately, since there is no proper cause or hypothesis which says that yes, this is what will cause, or there's no pre-test that can determine whether this lady is going to go into endometriosis or not. It is only the symptoms and one among the things which can actually take you to a gynecologist. So never roll in pain at home. Please come to a gynecologist and make sure you don't have endometriosis, because it's a very very creepy disease which can cause a lot of harm to you in the long run. So I hope you've understood what is endometriosis and the need for you to come to a gynecologist for its treatment. And thank you for watching this video. And there's one more video coming up next in Bits and Bytes on digital wellness, and that is on vaginal infection, which is yet again another problem women are facing on a day-to-day basis. Thank you so much.